Dear friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Ajay Chandel. I am going to present before you Module 34 titled Sales Management 2 under the paper Tourism and Hospitality Marketing. After completing this module, you will be able to understand the importance of personal selling in tourism industry, understand the key skills required in salespersons, understand the process of personal selling. Introduction. Personal selling is based on personal skills embodied in a tourism and hospitality employee. Along with other tools from promotional mix, the travel and hotel business depends considerably on the personal selling. The development of travel and tourism sector in developing countries like India has been possible due to well-educated and trained sales personnel available to enterprises. Further, the development of tourism business is usually influenced by the services rendered by travel agents and travel guides because they work as information carriers between the service provider and the end user. Personal selling is the personal representation. Personal selling is the personal presentation of a tangible product or an intangible service or ideas to the customers. Undoubtedly, in the tourism industry, the personnel who attend tourists make an essential element of the overall service experience. Such sales personnel are found responsible for dealing with customers behind the counter and help create a satisfying service encounter. The resort representatives cater to the needs of tourists when they reach the destination, etc. But sales representatives play a vital role in creating a meaningful image to the service provider. Personal selling. Personal selling is also known as face-to-face selling, in which one person, who is the salesman, tries to convince the customer in buying a product. It is a promotional method by which the salesperson uses his or her skill and abilities in an attempt to make a sale. It is an important element of the promotional mix of the company. Personal selling is a mean to promote the tourism and is an ingredient to build an idea of traveling in the mindset of customers. Travel business is all proliferated onto the shoulders of clear-cut marketing strategy itself. Personal selling is all rooted towards the personal tactics of an individual to influence and engage the mass towards traveling. If a business is growing many folds but is not paying attention towards marketing strategy, it is actually losing as compared to its competitors. Individual offering is an up-close and personal offering method by which a salesman uses his or her relational abilities to influence a client in purchasing a specific product or service. The sales representative tries to highlight different elements of the item to persuade the client. With the purpose of spreading the awareness about offerings, the personal selling is highly used in tourism industry. Personal selling includes individual touch, as a sales representative knows better how to pitch an item to the potential client. Hence, in simple words, personal selling is a face-to-face contact between the salesman and a future prospect, through which the salesman persuades and convinces the prospect to escalate the need for the product projected by the salesperson with the expectation of a sales transaction being finally materialized. Following are some most famous definitions of personal selling. Phillips and Duncan. Salesmanship is the art of presenting an offering so that the prospect appreciates the need for it and mutually satisfactory sale follows. W. Major Scott. It is the part of a salesman's business to create demand by demonstrating that the need does exist, although before his visit there was no consciousness of that need. Features of personal selling. Personal selling includes a close and personal contact between the sales representative and the prospect to build a rapport and image of the service organization with the prospect. A salesperson offers product or service by first pitching his own perspective to the prospective customer. Individual offering, hence, is the craft of persuading the prospect and affecting a prospective customer's psyche in a favorable way. This calls for exceptional qualities in a sales representative. Hence, salesman must have the skills to convince the customers so that an interest may be created in the mind of customers to try the product. Personal selling requires a flexible approach with respect to the salesperson. That is, the business person must change his or her approach in convincing the prospective client. Personal selling is a two-way process. An important objective of personal selling is common fulfillment of the mutual interests of both parties, which are the salesperson and the prospect. The ultimate objective of personal selling is to promote sales by convincing more and more customers to use the product. Advantages and disadvantages of personal selling. Personal selling is one of the most important tools of promotional mix as it helps in increasing the sales. There are many other features as well that make sales promotion as most considered option for materializing sales. Below is discussed the importance of personal selling from the point of view of manufacturers as well as consumers. From manufacturers' point of view, it helps creating demand for tourism products, both new as well as existing ones. It helps creating new customers, thereby helping in expanding the market for the product. It also leads to service improvement. While selling personally, the seller gets acquainted with the tastes and the preferences of the customers. These tastes and preferences are used to make valuable suggestions while designing tourism services for overall tourism product improvement. From customers' point of view, personal selling provides an opportunity to the consumers to know about new services introduced in the market via directly interacting with the company's sales representatives, thereby informing and educating the consumers about new tourism and hospitality services. While interacting with the customers, it's possible to give product demonstrations which can help explain the use and utility of a relatively newer product. Personal selling also guides customers in selecting tourism properties and service packages best suited to their requirements and tastes as it involves face-to-face communication. This encourages real-time interactive session between the sales personnel and the customers. Customers get their doubts cleared as they interact. Personal selling gives an opportunity to the customers to put forward their complaints and difficulties in using the product and get solution immediately. Qualities of salesperson engaged in personal selling. Personal selling depends on the individual ability of a person. The advancement of travel and tourism has been achievable, has been conceivable because of knowledgeable and prepared workforce. It is difficult to list down the qualities of people engaged in personal selling. These qualities usually vary and depend upon the customer's demand and nature of the tourism product. Again, a salesperson may be effective in one situation but might fail in another situation, selling a very different kind of tour package. Hence, certain qualities may be suitable for a particular line of product and may be irrelevant in other cases. However, there are certain common qualities which every salesperson should possess in order to be effective salesperson. These qualities are listed below. Physical quality. A salesman should have a polished appearance and an impressive personality. A salesperson is involved in the first service encounter and plays an important role in building a rapport with the customer. Mental quality. A good salesman must be equipped with some important mental qualities. A salesperson must be imaginative and must take initiatives. Self-confidence, sharp memory, alertness, etc. are some other mental abilities desired in an effective salesperson. Intellect to understand the needs and preferences of customers is also yet another important quality. Integrity of character. Qualities of honesty and integrity are a must-to-have trait for any salesperson. Customer is not an unintelligent, mute spectator and can judge if someone is trying to fool around. Therefore, it's extremely important for salesperson to gain the confidence of the customers. Understanding the needs of customers and guiding them to satisfy those needs honestly should be the main objective of a salesperson. Not only the customers, but a salesperson should be able to generate a good faith in employer as well. Knowledge of the product and the company. A salesman should have an in-depth knowledge of the product and the company being represented. Salesperson should be able to explain each and every aspect of the product or service, that is, features, usage, and precautions to be taken, etc. Knowledge of product or service of rival companies is a must to possess to be able to differentiate the brand from the competitors. Good behavior. A salesman should be cooperative, courteous, and must have an attitude to extend a helping hand towards solving the customer issues. Good behavior enables a salesperson to win the confidence of the customers, which might convert the customer for the lifetime. Ability to persuade. A good salesman should possess excellent conversational skills so that he can engage the person he is attending in conversation. Ability to convince customers and creating the desire in customers' mind to avail the service is an outcome of excellent persuasive skills. Objectives of salesperson. It is clear from the discussion that personal selling is vitally important for providing consumers permanency and making tourism companies to sell with the help of a skillful salesperson. Objectives of a salesperson are contributing towards the image of the company and brand, increasing consumers' dependence to both brand and their choice, providing the opportunity for the product and brand to be distinguished, providing the opportunity to reach more and exclusive customers, realizing sale by convincing the customer and maintain it, providing customer satisfaction and increasing it, providing the appropriate service for the customer, increasing the quantity and frequency of sale and hence earning more to the company, increasing the depth of knowledge about the products and services, creating an informed audience, supporting after-sales services. Personal selling process. Personal selling process followed in organization is outlined below. Prospecting. Searching for prospective customers is known as prospecting. Prospecting involves collecting the names and addresses or persons who have a need and have a capacity to buy the products and services of the service firm. Prospecting also involves identification of special needs of prospective customers and also multiplying the sales with existing clientele. While collecting the details, separation of suspects from prospects must be ensured to avoid the waste of time and resources. There are definite methods of prospecting. Some of these methods can be searching prospective customers by examining data sources such as newspapers, online websites, social media, and communities. Establishing a kiosk at a trade show or exhibition. Tourism fairs, fests are one of the best places to prospect. Collecting the names of the prospects from existing customers. Establishing referral sources such as dealers, suppliers, sales representatives, executives, bankers, etc. can be particularly important. Getting the names of the prospects from associated organizations or channel partners can be important. Using the telephone, mail, and the internet to find leads on prospective customers can be helpful. Pre-approach. Collecting some important details about the prospects should be the next step once the prospective customers have been identified. For example, if the prospect is a young individual in his late 30s, then the company must know the needs and preferences of the individual, who takes purchase decisions related to the vacation packages, and what is the amount individual wants to spend on vacation, etc. After knowing the important details about the prospects, the salesperson should set the objectives of the call or the pitch. The salesperson should prepare an attractive pitch as per the collected information and must try to make an immediate sale. Salesperson also needs to decide on the best approach to target the customer, which might be a personal visit, a phone call, an email, or even a letter. Besides, salesperson must also decide on the days and timing of approach based on the convenience of the prospects. Approach. A pre-approach step is followed by a real approach. Salesperson should properly approach the prospects identified in the previous stages. Before starting the conversation, a salesperson must know how to greet the customer well and to converse to make the customer feel comfortable. The salesperson should dress for the occasion, which should coincide with the temperament of the buyer. The opening line should be positive. For example, Mr. Rahul, I am Ajay from UN Vacation Company. My company and I appreciate your willingness to see me. I will do my best to make the visit valuable for you. I would also try my level best to help you plan your vacation as per your budget with the best possible tour packages available with the company. The opening line must pay importance to the buyer's needs and preferences. Presentation. Presentation is an act of presenting the offering in best possible way. It is sometimes also quoted as the heart of selling process. Effective presentation is capable of convincing the customer of the sales proposition. It enables the salesperson to create and hold the interest of the customers towards the products. However, it is wrong to assume that each customer being approached and presented with the sales offering would buy the product. Normally, most of the prospects visit the shop to check the product out prior to their decision to buy. This becomes difficult in case of tourism and hospitality for the product being intangible. However, brochures, photographs, etc. can be used as a mean to present to the prospective customer in tourism industry. Previous customers' testimonials on how good the services have been in the past can be displayed to the existing customers because in case of highly intangible products, mere descriptions usually do not work. Such testimonials and reviews can play a crucial role of providing the proofs and providing the statements about quality, utility, performance, and service of the tourism product by evidences of such testimonials. The significance of such demonstrations lie in reducing the duration of sales talk, encouraging the comparison, appealing to customer senses, stimulating the sales talks, and convincing the difficult customers. IDA approach can work wonders in this stage. Overcoming objections. Customers, when pitched for sale of a tourism product, usually voice their objections known as customer's resistance. This resistance of the customers can either be psychological, where customer doesn't want to believe in the benefits being offered, or logical, which is based upon some bad experiences with the previous tour and travel packages. Psychological resistance involves giving importance for famous brands, indifference, impatience, reluctance to participate in the talk, unpleasant situation created by the salesperson, aversion towards decision making, etc. to name a few. On the other hand, logical resistance is based on some reason associated with higher prices compared to the competitors, leading to price value disequilibrium, tourism product or company characteristics not matching with the salesperson's characteristics, etc. Salesperson should overcome these objections by adopting a positive approach and patiently answering these doubts as and when they arise. Such objections, when answered well, can help customers feel more confident about their purchase decision, which might lead to a conversion. Handling and overcoming objections are the most important parts of sales process because this can help build customers' trust in the brand. Closing. Previous stages of personal sale process, namely prospecting, pre-approach, approach, presentation, and handling the objections are designed to encourage the prospect to make a purchase decision so that a sales can be concluded. Successful transition from earlier stages to this stage will lead to the last stage of closing the sale and lock the deal. The word close means the process of actually getting the prospect's agreement to the sales proposal of tourism product or service. Closing of sale is a mean to persuade the prospect to act right now, then postponing or delaying the action that usually leads to increase in sale revenue. It is at this stage that the prospect is converted into a customer. No matter how easy it sounds, it is the most difficult task in the personal sales process. Skills like positive attitude and sales confidence plays a decisive role in converting a wish into desire and a desire into demand. Follow-up. The final sale is not end of selling process. To build healthy relationship with the customers, a service firm must try to follow up the customers to take their feedback on the service provided. Summary. Personal selling is a promotional tool based on the personal skills embodied in tourism and hospitality personnel. Along with other tools from promotional mix, the travel and hotel business rely upon the personal selling. The development of travel and tourism sector in developing countries like India has been possible due to well-educated and trained sales personnel available to enterprises. Personal selling is a face-to-face contact between the salesman and a future prospect, through which the salesman persuades and convinces the prospect to escalate the need for the product projected by the salesperson with the expectation of sales transaction being finally materialized. Tourism and hospitality industry must ensure recruiting best possible talent to take the most out of personal selling. Physical and mental qualities, right attitude, pleasant personality, etc. are some of the traits that must be looked for while recruiting. Personal selling in tourism is no different than personal selling in any other industry. However, given to the nature of the tourism product, which is highly intangible, which is highly experiential and intangible, this becomes more complex than regular products. The personal selling process involves prospecting and qualifying, pre-approach, approach, presentation and demonstration, handling objections, closing and follow-up. Thank you.